Yo guys, what is going on? Nickname is just Yellow, and today this Norwegian hardcore PC gamer is gonna talk about Adderall in gaming. It's gonna be about its effects on people and how that entire thing alone makes it a very, very annoying subject to talk about. So I just wanna, literally inform people on its nature from people using it a lot. About this game, it's one of the supreme games I played before I got Global Elite rank, even though I wasn't trying that hard. Among crazy wallbangs like these, because the weasel was camping like a bitch, you'll see some smoke spamming as well, because, demo files are never perfect, apparently. So anyways, let's go. The thing about Adderall as a drug is that it's commonly being used with people who wanna, perform better in a context of, they need to spend a lot of time focusing, maybe they want to try and clutch some kind of test or some mission like that require you to go through a lot of information, and thus it require a longer attention span that you might not have at that moment, or maybe you're doubting yourself, or maybe you're looking for something that will allow you to push yourself through that entire, phase of life, if that makes sense. So knowing this, there is something else that you really need to, understand about using drugs and things like that, and that is that it's almost like the effect of using a drug is almost as personal as you will be in terms of your personality. And that is what I find to be so interesting in this sense, because it almost ruins whatever you want to try and generalize about drugs being used for people. If I, for example, were to drink, which I've actually never done and I plan on never do, I don't really want to, go and fucking waste my weekends with alcohol. I just don't fancy it at all. I would probably, get some weird reaction that would be a little bit more personal to me. Well, I know, on the other hand, that some family members, they will get pretty riled up and can be insanely annoying to deal with if they also, get drunk. So knowing this is very personal, and it even more so, it gets different depending on who you are and what drug you're taking as well. So in the context of Adderall with gaming, the things that you want to try and achieve is either, a higher level of performance or more attention span in terms of just sitting through the entire event that you might go to as a professional gamer. Knowing this, and also me being a super grinder in the sense of, my past with FPS gaming, I just played an abnormal amount of FPS games in general, fucking Call of Duty, the sheer amount of hours of Call of Duty, it's just... You can go and look at my Steam profile if you really want the proper reference. It's just insane, the days that I've just sat down and just focused the entire day. But the point in case I want to make with that, and I have already made a video, I have a link in the end of this video about that subject, is that you can practice your level of, being consistent in terms of, just actually putting down some focus onto a task, a subject that you might want to perform in or cover. You can actually practice yourself up to that level. So then, looking at a little bit of the after effects of Adderall, whether or not you want to look at the terrible effects or the good ones, in the end of the day, in a combination of people going to these events, it almost seems as if they're just so uneducated on what these kind of drugs will actually do to a person. They don't really understand that it would not be too much more different if they maybe, at best, spend a little bit more consistent time practicing before these events rather than actually taking these drugs and stuff like that. Mainly because of how it just... In the end of the day, if you practice something, you will eventually reach results. But a part of humanity is also that if you do something, eventually you will get used to it. Everything from, being scared at going up on a stage, which is a common thing that people just hate, apparently. One of the things that people most, they get scared of. Just getting used to those kind of things, the best way to do so is to actually do them. The same also then goes for people who might be, they're fucking shaking, they're super fucking scared, stage fright hardcore when they are trying to play in competitive events. Believe it or not, but one of the best ways in order to be able to deal with that will be to actually do it because of human nature, which you probably have a lot of your own examples as well in that regard, just like you would get used to anything really. Me personally, I can get really used to terrible food, but at one point I will also, surpass the limit of being used to shitty food and rather just be like... people will just go fucking mental. It's what you call being burnt out, essentially. If you do something too much, it's all naturally going to be really bad for you. Same goes with drugs, same goes with habits, same goes with anything that you might want to consume or do, and nobody will play fucking bowling, golf, or the same FPS game infinitely. That's literally impossible unless you are a chess god. Those people, yeah, I'm kind of impressed in that sense. But point in case is that everybody we as people are different, and we all thus react differently to these drugs. And thus, then again, if you want to even draw any conclusions towards the drugs, I would just say try and get rid of all of them. Even more so, it's kind of interesting when you look at human nature. It's not necessarily even needed if you want to perform better at a game, if what you want to do is, you know, just be lazy and take a drug to get better performance. If you would actually grind it into your being as a, you know, very stable player, I'm pretty sure that a lot of these people who just want to take the easy way out, getting higher skill levels in an already high environment, you could probably be able to get even more permanent results if you would just, you know, grind out those greasy, small, you know, problems that you might have that you want a quick fix, okay? So, you know, that's my little take on the Adderall crap. Personally, I never advocate for any drugs ever, and so that's gonna be a trend I have. If you want to watch these two related videos, feel free. And anyways, you know, thanks for watching, have a nice day, and don't get beastified when you play, people.